A new report suggests rapidly rising rental rates in Toronto may be starting to ease, and that would be welcome news for anyone paying month to month. But as CTV's John Musselman reports, most say living in our city is still far from affordable.
Maurice Stewart is retired and lives in the West End on Lakeshore Boulevard. He says he can't believe how much rent has gone up in this city in his 20 years as a tenant.
Even in my building is $2,500 for a one-bedroom home, one-bedroom apartment, so it's crazy.
Samantha Hunter says she feels a bit lucky. She got a great deal on an apartment in Humber Bay during the pandemic, but she is always worried a rent increase could push her out of the area she loves.
I was able to work out a really good deal with my landlord, and he hasn't raised the rent since I've been here, which has been really, really good.
Is that something you worry about every month?
Definitely. I always think in the back of my head, okay, like, is he going to raise the rent, or am I going to be in a situation where I can no longer afford to live down here?
A new report released by Renters.ca show rental costs in Toronto are beginning to slow. A 2% jump since last year. That's the slowest growth in rental increases in 2 years. Still, the numbers paint a bleak picture for renters in Toronto. The average rent in this city, just over $2,900 a month. That's up 0.1% over September. Here's a look at the GTA average asking rents. Brampton, $2,700. Vaughan, just under $2,700. Mississauga, Etobicoke, and York, all $2,600 or more. Toronto Metropolitan University urban planning and housing expert Nimoy Lewis says this is a complex issue, but there are strategic moves policymakers can use to reduce the burden on tenants.
Making sure that we're building more non-market housing to compete with the private sector. I think that right now there's a lot of talk about building more supply. I don't disagree that we need to build supply, but I think that we need to be mindful that we need to be building the right type of supply that Canadians can actually afford.
Some people we spoke with today say adding a roommate is the only way to cover the rent.
My fellow coworkers and a lot of people I know who are almost required to have multiple roommates.
The study report appears to suggest that the slowing rent increases could signal future relief for tenants. John Musselman, CTV News.